A group under the aegis of Coalition of Good Governance and Change Initiative says nobody have the right to call for the resignation of President Muhammadu Buhari as he properly transmitted power to his vice to act in his capacity. This is coming after a popular Nigerian music artist, Charles Oputa, popularly known as Charlie Boy, protested in Abuja, the nation's capital, calling on President Buhari to return home or resign his position as the president. The group converged at the Unity Fountain, singing solidarity songs in support of the Nigerian government. Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari had been in the United Kingdom for over 90 days for medical vacation.
According to Section 145 of Nigerian Constitution, the president has done what he's supposed to do. He transmitted power honorably to the vice president. The president transmitted power honorably to the vice president. And the vice president now is the acting president, who is doing all the president is supposed to do. The president did not do like all his predecessors, who were willy-nilly forced to give letter, but he did it willingly, not willy-nilly. So this man, who on vacation for his health, transmitted letter, and the National Assembly accepted it. In the Nigerian Constitution, there is nowhere written that if a president goes for a sick leave and spend over 90 days, that he should resign.
And we are saying the Nigerian people cannot be intimidated in any form by groups or interests calling on President Muhammadu Buhari to resign or return home. It is very, very clear that those who drafted the 1999 Constitution as amended foresaw that the president is an ordinary human being who could fall sick at any time, just like any one of us. That is why they put that provision that if he's going on a medical vacation, according to Section 145, that he should transmit a letter to the National Assembly transferring powers to the vice president, who automatically becomes the acting president. And that President Muhammadu Buhari has dutifully done.
But to this Nigeria, who came independently to make his voice known, have this to say.
I'm not satisfied at all with what is happening here, because definitely there is something fundamentally wrong with this country. You cannot tell me that we are fighting corruption when the government in power is, in quote, doing everything to support corruption. For a president that has been out of the country for over 90 days, and the presidential aircraft is parked somewhere in UK where he is, that's the biggest form of corruption. For me, if he's my father, if President Buhari is my father, nobody can keep him on seat till now. If they are being wicked to that man, it's people being wicked. They are just using him as a bait, and nobody can use my father for that. If my father is sick, I will tell him, please come back home and relax. Let's take care of you. You cannot tell a man that you know he's dying that he should cling on to power and kill a nation, because Nigeria is dying gradually.
In Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports.
Following the death of 97 Nigerians at Bakassi Peninsula recently, Chairman of Senate Committee on Diaspora and Civil Society, Senator Rose Oko, has called on the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs to launch full-scale investigation into the mysterious death of Nigerians. Senator Rose Oko, in a chat with journalists in Abuja, said there's a need for Cameroon government to comply with Green Tree Agreement, which guaranteed the lives of Nigerians living in the area.
We call on the ministry, our own government, to ensure that the Cameroon complies with the Green Tree Agreement, sections, Article 3.2, in particular section E and F, parts E and F of that Green Tree Agreement. We say that you should not subject Nigerians who choose to live behind to any discriminatory tax laws. And secondly, they should be protected. So what kind of protection did they give to them? That even if they claim that they were not killed, they died in the sea. In what manner were they trying to move away from that place that about 97 of them will perish in the sea? Yeah, so that is the intent of the motion, and of course to get the committees, the relevant committees of the National Assembly of the Senate to investigate what happened to those Nigerians who moved and then to call on the state government, I mean the federal government of course, to also look at the issue of a proper resettlement of the indigenes of the Bakassi Peninsula who choose to come back home. Because indeed, if there was a place that I can call home, as it were, some of them will just voluntarily decide to come back to Nigeria, to come back to their ancestral home, or to the home that they now know. But there's no such place. And so there's this whole thing that is both the problem of the Nigerian government and the Cameroonian government. And the Nigerian government has the majority part in that thing because they need to ensure that the Cameroonian government complies with the Green Tree Agreement.
Speaking on humanitarian crisis in the Bakassi area of Cross River State, Senator Oko called for more federal government intervention.
So the Bakassi issue is a very tortuous matter for Cross Riverians as a whole and Cross River State government. But what has the Cross River State government done? I think that we must commend them for the efforts that they have made so far. They have continued to sustain the people, the returnees. They continue to sustain them both in terms of materials and relief and things like that. But as you can see clearly, more needs to be done. The federal government is also doing something, but more definitely needs to be done. The funds that were supposed to be made available for the resettlement of those returnees needs to be given, more needs to be released for the resettlement of those returnees.
About 97 Nigerians believed to have died on the sea on their way back to Nigeria from Cameroon following inhuman treatment meted to Nigeria by the Cameroonian authority. From Abuja, Muiwa Bamdele reporting.
Lovely place, right?
Yes.
What's wrong? You don't look happy.
Take a look around. Why can't my hotel be like this?
I knew something was wrong, but I've got solution.
Solution? What?
Nanet.
Nanet?
Nanet offers you design solutions, building plans and construction, furnishing and equipping, financing, management, audit services, and many more services for a better hospitality business. Nanet, service with a smile.
In its effort to ensure safe return of Nigerian refugees from Cameroon, federal government have appealed for cooperation of all stakeholders involved in the process to join hands for a smooth return of the refugees. Minister of Interior Abdulrahman Dambazao made this known in Abuja at the inaugural meeting of the Tripartite Commission for the voluntary repatriation of Nigerian refugees from Cameroon. Since 2015, over 300,000 Nigerians displaced from the northeast part of the country as a result of Boko Haram insurgency have returned from Cameroon.
It is important to remind ourselves that this effort will seem meaningless until the refugees are able to safely return back to their ancestral homes. Therefore, having signed the agreement, the international community, and particularly the refugees, are eagerly expecting us to walk the talk by taking practical steps to implement the agreement in order to alleviate the predicament of the refugees. I therefore appeal for cooperation of all stakeholders to deploy all resources within our powers to ensure full realization of the goals of the Tripartite Commission.
Cameroon Minister of Territorial Administration and Decentralization, Ren Sadi, in his remarks said the repatriation of the refugees should be made voluntarily. He also advocated that areas liberated from the terrorist group should be made viable for the returnees.
Given that the victory against Boko Haram is certain, and that the territories formerly under its occupation are largely recovered and secured, it seems to us logical to immediately consider the possibility of repatriating to their places of origin populations who had been forced as a result of the war against Boko Haram to leave their territories and communities. In this light, the aforementioned tripartite agreement established a tripartite commission, bringing together personalities from both Cameroon, Nigeria, and the High Commissioner for Refugees, and entrusting them with the task of ensuring the proper repatriation of refugees.
The United Nations High Commission for Refugees, UNHRC, representative to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Antonio Jos, reaffirmed UNHRC's commitment to collaborating with both countries of Nigeria and Cameroon to ensure smooth implementation of the tripartite agreement, enhanced protection and assistance to the returnees.
The tripartite agreement is what created the commission that we are inaugurating this day to immediately become operational. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we now need to agree on the proper arrangements to realize repatriation as a durable solution. In that context, UNHCR wishes to note that all these qualifying adjectives encapsulate serious principles: safe, dignified, voluntary, and durable. It is imperative that the returns are sustainable and that we avoid secondary displacements. UNHCR wishes to reaffirm its readiness to accompany both governments in ensuring that in everything we do, we remain committed to the principles of protection expected of us by the international community and as expressed in the Abuja Declaration.
It would be recalled that in March this year, UNHRC had facilitated a tripartite agreement between Nigerian government of Cameroon, and itself to provide clarity and discuss modalities for returns of the refugees. In Abuja, LM Chukwemeka report.
As more Nigerians continue to react to the National Assembly position on devolution of power to state, Elder Statesman Chief Edwin Clark has appealed to the federal lawmakers to reconsider the devolution of power to state in the ongoing constitutional amendment process. Edwin Clark made a call in a chat with journalists in Abuja. He said the demand for the restructure of Nigeria is on the lips of every Nigerian.
Let us appeal to all of them. They are all Nigerians. Religion should not have any place to play. Ethnicity should have any place to play. Let us take it for granted that what happened was the responsibility of the entire National Assembly. So we should appeal to all Nigerians, whether from the north or from the south, in the National Assembly to put Nigeria first. And it will be better for them if they now look back home to see that what do we have to offer to our people. You can imagine education. Now, I mean, with the amount of local government, with the amount of states they have, they have not been able to educate a number of the children. What do you have to offer to your children? I think this is the most important thing. What development will you have? So it's not a question of religion or ethnicity. So I do not agree with you that those who voted for devolution of power were mainly from the south. we are appealing to all of them, whether from the south or from the north, to revisit their decision and reverse it in the interest of Nigeria.
Edwin Clark asked the National Assembly to put behind them the issue of religion and ethnicity and to see to the advancement of the country. He explained that the devolution of power to the state will lead to rest the series of agitation in the country.
They will revisit it. That's what Nigerians want. So my advice to them is that ethnicity, religion, personal feelings, selfishness should not be mixed with the amendment of the Constitution, which is the most superior law in Nigeria. You cannot amend the Constitution every day. Let the members of the House reason like Nigerians. The demand for the restructuring of Nigeria is all over the country, so they cannot be indifferent to it. If people like prominent men who have ruled this country, like IBB, like Babangida, people like Atiku, and Bulabi Musa, and even they have said, the governor, the APC, which had it in their manifesto, have said they are not opposed to restructuring. What they are looking for, the definition of restructuring. They know it. All we are saying, let us revert to 1963 Constitution, Republican Constitution. So my advice to them is that they should put Nigeria first before their personal interests.
The move for devolution of power to state suffered setback at the both Senate and the House of Representatives as lawmakers did not vote to support the move. From Abuja, Nigeria, Muyiwa Bamdele reporting.